Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Kenna and this is my plant channel where I talk about all things houseplant related. So this is going to be my June favorites. I'm going to be doing these at the end of the month. I've seen a lot of plant YouTubers do this and I think it's a really cool idea and it's a good way to just show you guys what plants stood out to me each month and what products I have been using and loving a lot. And I'm gonna try to do them every month. And basically it will just be plants that stood out to me or new plants that I got, just ones that I've really been loving lately. And then I'm also going to throw in some plant supplies that I have been using a lot or just things that I want to show you guys for that month. So to start out, I will be going over the plant supplies for this month. I'm gonna try to keep it around 4 or 5 plants and a couple supplies that I love this month because I don't want these videos to be way too long. As I was picking out plants for this month, I realized quickly that there's a lot of plants I could show you guys every month. But I narrowed it down to 4. So I have 4 plants to show you this month and I have 4 plant supplies that I love. The first one, if you've been following my channel, you know about this product. But if you're new here, you might not know that I use liquid dirt as my fertilizer. I absolutely love it. I made a video on it not too long ago, so I will have that linked in the cards for you guys to check out if that's something you're interested in. But I'm so happy to share with you guys that I now have a code at Liquid Dirt. My code is Kenna_25 and you can get 25% off any purchase over $25 as long as it is on the Liquid Dirt website and not Amazon. I have been using Liquid Dirt for a little over 2 years and I love it. I've recommended it to everyone and I loved it long before I got a code. So I think you should definitely go pick up some Liquid Dirt. I've been using it on my garden over the summer months and I had never used this on anything but my indoor houseplants, and my garden is growing like crazy and putting out great vegetables, so I would definitely recommend using it outside too. This stuff lasts forever and I love it. The second plant supply for the month of June is my squirt bottle. You can get these on Amazon for super cheap and they are wonderful and I use them for so many different things. Most of the time I use them a lot for stuff that is in sphagnum moss or fluval. I like to just like top them off with this thing. It's so much easier than using like a watering can. And I also use it for my prop boxes. I use it a lot in my IKEA cabinets in case I can't reach the plants in the back of my cabinet with my watering jug. I'll just use this thing and I just mix a little bit of liquid dirt and water in this and it is such a versatile plant tool. You can use this for so many different things and I've just really been using it a lot this month. So definitely pick these up. I will have these linked below if you guys want to check that out. The next plant supply for this month is my pesticide. I have been using this a lot lately for spider mites and aphids in my garden. As you guys know, it is pest season and getting rid of pests and keeping them to a minimal is super important, especially with your houseplants, but also with your outside plants. I just recently moved into a house around a year ago, and I have quickly realized that pests will take over your outdoor stuff in no time. I got aphids on my roses this year and they ate them to absolutely nothing before I even found them. So I have been treating all of my outside stuff with this, and this is just my own mixture. It is a little bit of dish soap, just probably a teaspoon, probably a teaspoon of alcohol. That's for this spray bottle, so it could be different for each one, but a teaspoon of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then just dilute it with water. And I swear this stuff works really well. I've tried a lot of different pesticides. I also use neem oil, but I use it as more of a preventative than a treatment. But this stuff, I've had the best luck with this. And like I said, lately I've been dealing with a lot of pests, so this has been my best friend this month. The last plant supply I have for this month is a pot, and it is from IKEA, and my friend introduced me to these pots and I love them. As you can tell from my house, I love neutrals. I like color, but I try to keep everything pretty neutral as far as like decor goes. So these pots are great, and they're literally, I think they're like $2 at IKEA. But I have a couple of these and I'm going to be making a trip to IKEA soon, and I'm definitely going to get some more of these. But I use these as like a cover pot, so I just plant my plants in a nursery pot and then I just sit the nursery pot down in here. So I definitely think if you like neutrals that you should check these out at IKEA. They're super cheap, really, really thick, and I just love the way that they look. Okay, so now we are on to the plants for this month that just really stood out to me, and ones that I am loving a lot more lately, that I've just catch myself going and looking at more. So the first one is my philodendron silver stripe, and I've had this plant for quite a while now, and it was always kind of just like a meh plant to me. Like, I liked it, I wasn't gonna get rid of it, but it didn't just stand out to me in front of my other plants. And I repotted this thing recently and took it out of my IKEA cabinet and put it in a southwest facing window, and this thing has just like grown like crazy, as you can see, and it's putting out like almost cream splash look, and I just really love the new growth it's putting out. And when I was picking out plants, I was like, this one I've definitely been paying more attention to. But I think these are dropping in price, so I definitely recommend getting one. I used to think that they were so similar to like the Brazil that it just wasn't worth having, but I think these are really unique plants, and I really like how they put out totally different leaves all the time. You never know what you're gonna get. The next plant is one that I have always loved ever since I got it, but it was kind of giving me some trouble the first couple months I had it, and that is my Florida Ghost. When I first got this plant, for some reason, it had this green leaf, and then like not very long after I got it, it put out an all white leaf, and I was like, oh, so cool, like it was totally white. And it stayed for a really long time, but then all of a sudden it died, obviously because it wasn't turning green, and then it put out another all white leaf. Okay, backstory. If you don't know anything about the Florida Ghost, they actually do put out all white leaves, and then they slowly turn into this like mint color, and that is how they like photosynthesize. So when it put out an all white leaf, I thought, how cool, like it started out totally all white, it'll turn green. Well, it never turned green, and so after 2 leaves of it doing that, I decided to move it into like a little bit lower light, and then it gave me this leaf, and it slowly started getting green, so I thought, okay, we're good. And then it just keeps getting more mintier, and I actually love this minty look more than I do the all white. I think this is so pretty, and now that I have it like growing and turning green, I think it's doing much better, and it's just been standing out to me more lately. Okay, the next plant is also one that kind of struggled a little bit. I ordered this one back in the winter, I think, and it just like didn't really do anything for me for a while. It didn't put out new leaves very often, and then I ended up having to chop it up because it got super like leggy. It was putting out just like runners, but I chopped it up and I put all the cuttings back into the same pot, and this is my Scindapsus Silver Hero, and I have been absolutely loving this plant lately. It's so pretty for one, but all these new leaves are just like popping out left and right. And it sits in my IKEA cabinet, and for some reason I think it's so much prettier in there because I think it's my grow lights, the way that they make the leaves like shine. I just think this plant is so pretty, and it's finally taking off and growing good, and I love it. The next plant for the month of June is one also that I've always loved, but it put out a new leaf recently and it just really did it for me. I love this plant so much. This is my philodendron El Choco Red, and look at that new leaf. It is absolutely amazing. This is such a cool plant, and honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think this might be really close to my gloriosum. If you follow my channel and have been following me since the beginning, you know that the gloriosum is my favorite plant in my collection, but this one is slowly getting up there. Look at the red back on that thing. There's a hair on it. I will admit, this is, I think, for at least for me and for a lot of people I've talked to, this is a more difficult philodendron for sure. They are pretty finicky. They like a lot of humidity, and I haven't struggled with it too much. It lost a couple of leaves, but I would say that it's doing pretty good in my care. But I love this philodendron, and if you can get your hands on one, they're a little bit more difficult to find. I would definitely buy it, because how can you not just love this plant? I will insert a picture when this new leaf first came out, because it was like so red and it was just like almost orange. It was so pretty, but this plant I love a lot. Okay, so that is going to be all the plants and plant supplies I have for the month of June to show you guys. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you guys would like to see every month. I think it's a really good idea, and it's a good way for me to show you guys things that are just really standing out to me, or products that I really would recommend to everyone. It helps me do that monthly instead of just occasionally in a video. I think it's helpful and I think it's fun. So let me know if this is something that you like. If you do like it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Plants by Kenna, and I will see you guys in my next video.